but you see, the thing is that the problem is that with Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell being Jeffrey Epstein's partner in this honey trap with underage girls, is that Maxwell, by her own testimony, Whitney Webb has Maxwell coming to the United States before the fall of the Soviet Union, setting up Soviet front companies. You know, millions and millions of dollars of Soviet front companies set up before the fall of the Soviet Union. Those front companies were meant to receive money from the KGB and the Communist Party as the Soviet Union collapsed. Of course, she knows nothing about Golitsyn, nothing about Shana, nothing about Colonel Lunev or any of the testimony, defector testimony saying, look, the Soviet collapse was organized. They were moving money into the West, that they have agent networks. And of course, what do the Russians like to do? Create Jewish oligarchs. And they like to send people to Israel. Look, you can go from Moscow to Tel Aviv without a visa. You know, I mean, Putin joked recently that Israel is our colony anyway. You know, something like that. I mean, the complexities here is like, according to someone like Whitney Webb, why does the Mossad have agency and the KGB has none?
Yeah,
why
everybody's stupid. Everybody's stupid except
everybody's
except
stupid
the
except intelligence is mostly
huge
about
personnel.
falling on your face. Yeah.
And huge. I mean,
personnel.
the size of the KGB and the other Soviet satellite states as intelligence services, the STB, the Stasi, blah 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 blah. They had their hands in everything, and
the KGB had 1 million officers, not agents, but officers.
Plus all these helpers, plus all these sources, plus all these assets that were helping the KGB for money and ideological reasons. And so it's like, we have to look at the bigger picture now. Why didn't the Russians expose this Epstein thing early on if it would have benefited the Russians to expose it if the Russians had nothing to do with it?
That's a good point.
They could have exposed it
more than anyone.
Yeah, and even now, and even now, and people say, well, publish the list. You know, why isn't anything substantial coming from Russia? And I mean, this whole Epstein case was always used to demonize the West as a whole. You know, everything is a conspiracy. Everybody's bad. Everything's so rotten.
You know,
everybody else is better. You know, this is always kind of the Soviet KGB mantra that turn people spies and traitors. Massive human trafficking, where they used to go around with these beauty pageants, find these young girls, from impoverished families, find them, bring them to the big cities, and ship them to these rich Russian guys. That's the norm. That's like normal every day in Russia. And now an Epstein case, when this comes up, it's creates shockwaves.
This art of collecting attractive underage girls. I just wanted to point out the CIA has under 22,000 employees. That's including janitors, right?
Yeah.
The KGB under the Soviet Union had over 1 million officers, I think. I don't think that's just employees. That's just the officers.
Yeah,
we can't
plus the Chinese. Plus the Chinese,
plus the GRU. The GRU is another agency smaller than the KGB, but these, and much more professional even, but the methods, the training, the background, I've spoken to former KGB colonels and GRU colonels. You know, the story is the same. Their organizations were almost impenetrable. These organizations, if you get a defector, they better run to the United States to safety fast because they're going to be discovered very fast. And the War of the Moles and the rest of that. And also, the thing is that the FBI doesn't have enough people. John Barron calculated back 40-something years ago that there was 60 to 80,000 East Bloc, Communist Bloc agents in the United States operating. That's more than the whole staff of the FBI. Including the janitors. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. How does Whitney Webb think that the Mossad, as small as it is the one behind all this stuff?
It's good to be alive.
End of line.
People in government. I mean, it's not like everybody's a moron who just walks into the oldest trap, into the most lousy trap.
Hello, you.